everybody. Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina. I'm really excited about the show that I have for you today. I have got a young fella who has written a book, and it's an inspirational book. It's just a book to remind us of some things that I say remind some of us who are older, if we've already experienced some of this stuff, and also for those younger folks, it's just to say, wow, yeah, I think I need to apply this into my life. Anyways, it'll be Daulton Albanese coming up, and he's going to share his book writing story. And then also I have got first responder of the month for the month of February, and I'm very excited to have him. He is from Lancaster Police Department. His name is Captain Seesholtz, and he's going to just be a blast. It's a lot of fun things going on. And don't go anywhere. We've gotten snow. We're going to get more snow. Winter is definitely not over with yet. So I'm going to talk with you about some snow driving tips, just for some things to keep in mind. So please don't go anywhere. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Hey, welcome back to the Down Home with Tina show. I am your host, Tina Thompson, and I have a fellow who I got to meet because somebody was like, hey, I think this might be a really cool interview for you. His name's Daulton Albanese, and he is an author of a book that he had just written. It just came out within the last, has it been a couple months? Daulton Albanese, by the way, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. But yeah, it did. I released it in December of 2020.
That's what I thought.
Yep, it's pretty new.
Hey, so did you decide to do this book because you're all stuck at home? No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, did you have some downtime to really focus on this, or why did you want to do this, Daulton?
I've wanted to write a book for years. Kind of all started when I was growing up. I never realized how soon I'd write it or when I'd write it. I just knew I was eventually going to write a book. And then I started doing some real estate and, getting everything started. I was, rather than just not doing anything, I had some free time, especially with, we're all stuck at our house for the most part right now. So yeah. I was like, might as well just start writing. And, really at first I was like, let me just get some ideas. And then everything just kind of flowed and I ended up writing the whole book, so.
Did you know it was going to be this kind of book? Let's explain to people. It's called Don't Listen to Small Minds. And why did you decide to write a book? And let's share with folks a little bit about what it is about, because I'm so interested in finding out why. To share with folks without you giving away, because I know you explained some of that in the book as well.
Right. So I wrote the book just basically just off of experiences that I had throughout life. Starting just like I said when I was younger, and then the reason why I just kept on going with it was just because I wanted to give people what I went through, personal experiences, just so that they had something to relate to and they can kind of, hey, if he went through this, I can go through that too. I can get through it and I can, reach a higher level. I can level up, as I say in the book a lot. It's just about not letting anything or anybody else stop you from achieving anything you want to achieve.
And that's what you mean when you say small minds.
Yeah. So like small minds, like when I say that, it's someone who's going to limit you or yourself, really. Yeah. It all starts with yourself. It doesn't start with anything external. It's all about yourself. So, if you're holding yourself back, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. you're not going to reach a certain level just because yourself is holding you back. So it all starts internally, and then once you can, kind of get yourself at a state of mind inside yourself, then anything can pretty much happen. And, no matter if, you got small-minded people around you or situations that happen to you, you can go through those and just keep on rising.
And sometimes we do. We have those situations where small minds can be close family members.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah.
And that's when it's going to be a little bit more challenging to try to figure out, okay, so how can we still continue to level up and get to where we really want to be? And then, and that's where I think that this book really helps to teach those folks how to get there. Because you can still love your family.
Of course, yeah.
It doesn't mean that. It just means how can you further on in your life and what career that you may choose. So let me ask you, is this book for any age, or do you have a certain demographic that you're wanting to or trying to reach?
Really, I think it could be any age, because at any time in your life you could decide to make a change. You could decide to wake up and realize that you are limiting yourself in whatever aspect. It could be financially, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it may be. If you're limiting yourself, you're not fully alive. So you got to constantly look for ways to, okay, how can I grow in this? How can I grow in that? And I think everything would just kind of, when you put everything together, it just kind of all like skyrockets.
It breaks my heart because I've had conversations with some young folks I think that this is a great read for young folks to see, and I don't think that it's above them either, because I think especially if they experience some of those things, they're going to read it and go, oh goodness, it's not a reminder to them, it is this is something that could really help you to get through where you could really be and go in life. And then for somebody like myself, not that I'm a million years old or anything, but I've been through things. But even when I was in my later 30s, I always felt like my whole life I was a positive person. But even as I got older and I started to realize more and more, I think I was probably when did I meet my best friend? Early 40s. One of my best dear friends. And we were taking a trip and we started talking about boundaries. And I was like, I've never really set boundaries for myself. And that's another thing that is just important too. So to learn something about this, what you talk about in the book, for somebody that's young, hopefully they're not 38 or in their early 40s when they realize that, being a people pleaser maybe that they might be, that they can actually go, oh, this is a healthy way to actually move forward and believe in myself and not believe in, I called also border bullies in this case, because border bullies is those who are going to try to stop you and break you down. And who knows why? Who knows why they are that way? It could be something they experienced, or it could have been what their atmosphere was their whole life, and they were never told about don't listen to small minds, right?
Right. Yeah, I think this is a great book for young kids, junior high, high school, college kids, whatever it may be the case, or if you're just starting in a career, just to kind of see and be able to identify things that, if you walk into a workplace and, you're trying to grow in that workplace, there's going to be certain people in that workplace that don't want to see you grow. That's just how it's going to be. And I think that's in any workplace, any situation, workplace, sports, music, any situation you can possibly name, that's the way it's going to be. I'm not saying that everyone in the room is going to be like that, but there's always going to be somebody. So to not let that person in the room stop you from becoming who you want to be is a very powerful position to be in, because otherwise, if you let someone else stop you, you only become a third of what you could be, or a half, or whatever may be the case. So I think it's super powerful for kids our age, my age, younger, even older. Like I said, anyone really, just don't let people stop you from doing what you want to do.
just don't limit yourself. And that's where, so I didn't talk yet about this. I might have a few minutes or a couple of minutes to share. So I had a completely different outfit on. And so where we're going with this is, I did. It was a dressier shirt. And I wanted to, on the show, being called Down Home with Tina, to one time wear something more comfortable or whatever. So the mask that I have, I found at TJ Maxx. I love that store. I was going in to buy as a gift. And so mine says Dream. And of course, after reading your book and stuff and knowing, of course, too, that I was having you as my guest today, I walk in and it was just like the clouds open and the angels were singing and the lights were shining down on this sweatshirt that said Believe. So I thought, that is calling my name. This is meant to be today. Yeah, so I grabbed it and I got my, here. So anyways, do you happen to have a very, and of course, wait, also, so you have gray pants, which cracks me up. I don't know, it's just one of those things. And your shirt or sweatshirt says Visionary. And you said your t-shirt underneath also says something positive.
Yep, well. Yeah, it says Believe in Yourself. And then in bold it says Be You.
You're just meant to be here today anyways. Because it's so much of who I think I am as well, and spreading the positivity and all that. Do you happen to have a favorite quote, Daulton, that you would like to share with everybody? Because we're almost done already with our segment. Can't believe it.
A favorite quote, that would be
Don't
tough.
listen to small minds.
Yeah, I mean, no. really something short that's on the bottom, like the smaller writing in the side, is reality is what you make it, not what you're told.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, that would probably be a really good thing to live by. You know, you can make reality whatever you want to make it. So
yeah. Okay, so how can folks purchase your book?
So you can purchase it on Amazon. If you could just go to Amazon.com, or if you want to contact me on any social media, it's just my name, Daulton Albanese, Facebook, Instagram, and I have some hard copies as well, so you can get it that way as well.
Awesome, Daulton. Thank you for what you do and keep on doing, because it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Of course,
folks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Yep. Folks, that was Daulton Albanese. He is just an amazing young man, and you might see him out and about. And if you do, say hi, and as he would say, just level up. It's the Down Home with Tina show, and I'm going to be back here in just a couple of minutes because I have my first responder of the month. Yay! It's Down Home with Tina.
Hi, I'm Amanda Wattenberg, Regional Director at Ohio Guidestone. Do you or does someone you know have a substance abuse disorder? Have you been thinking about getting help, but don't know where to start? It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, but it's the most important step you can take. If you think you know everything that's available in Fairfield County, think again. Like other chronic diseases, addiction can be managed successfully. Treatment enables people to counteract addiction's powerful, disruptive effects on the brain's behavior and regain control of their lives. Even if it takes multiple attempts, treatment does work and people do recover from addiction every day. So keep trying because your life matters. You matter, and we're here to help. Call 211 and ask for the treatment resources available right here in Fairfield County.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. This segment, it is my first responder of the month, and my first responder of the month is brought to you by Bay Food Market. Thanks to those folks over there. If you are looking for some yummy, tasty treats or meats or anything like that, stop over at Bay Food Market. But my fella that I have with me as my first responder of the month, I've been told is bigger than life, and he is just so fun because we've gotten to spend a little bit, just a few minutes together, just talking about stuff I have found so much out about. From Lancaster Police Department, Captain Seesholtz. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
You probably are just like so excited because we're going to talk a little bit about it. How many years you've been in, but you are getting ready to retire. But we were talking a little bit before we got started. So you are an Army veteran.
I am.
Why did you choose to join the Army?
Well, I guess I don't know if it kind of chose me. I had a buddy. We were going to do the buddy system. You know, we'd been out of high school for 2 or 3 years. We actually had to go take the ASVAB again. I mean, that's how long I'd been out of high school. The test wasn't even valid. And I don't know why we kind of chose Army, but we both did. Never saw him again. saw him in AIT. We joined on the buddy system. I saw him for like, I don't know, 6 weeks at AIT at Fort Sam Houston. Never saw him again during my time in the military, but was glad that I chose what I did. Served with the Big Red 1 at Fort Riley. Worked at Irwin Army Medical Center. I was a scrub nurse. I got to have wonderful experiences there. I actually got to assist, as I was telling you earlier, with the birth of my youngest son, Patrick. So that was an awesome time. It was a great place to start, and nothing but good memories being in the military.
Captain Seesholtz, did you know that you were going to go into law enforcement?
No, my father and my uncle both retired from Lancaster Police Department. I don't know if you know that, but when I was growing up, it was the furthest thing. I come from a family of 10.
Wow.
5 boys, 5 girls, split down the middle, all trying to survive somehow on a police officer's salary. But my father was also a carpenter, so he supplemented. But and I just never ever had an inkling that I was going to do law enforcement. I never had any want or will to do that. And then when I was in the Army, I came down for orders for Germany.
Oh.
And you, as you said, you were in during Desert Storm, and I don't know if you were on an active post, but when everybody left, weird things happened on post, and I wasn't going to subject my wife and my kids to that. So they were going to try to make me go to Germany, find housing, and then bring them over, and I wasn't going to do that. So I just said, yeah, I'll just go ahead and get out. And then cop was a pretty good idea. And I thought I had maybe kind of an inside track, but I'd taken 3 or 4 different exams. I actually took an exam in Lincoln, Nebraska, and was in that process at the same time. I was in the process for Lancaster, but had happened to be a little further along in Lancaster than I would have been in Lincoln, Nebraska, and also had the family tradition here, plus was from here, and wanted to come back here the entire time. But
so do you think that the military helped you to, number one, make that decision, and number 2, prepare you for law enforcement?
Well, I'll tell you, I think it went a long way to prepare me for law enforcement, because if you'd known me after I got out of high school, you'd thought maybe I was going the other way.
Oh, okay? No.
but military came along, and then family came, after being in the military for a couple of years. And that was a lot of settling factors that, kind of prepared me for, and I knew that my father and my uncle had done it, so I knew what was involved with it.
Right.
And thought that it would be a good fit for me, especially at that point in my life.
How many years now has it been?
I started in 1993, so it has been 28 glorious years. And when I retire, I will have finished 29 physical years at the Lancaster Police Department.
How does that make you feel?
Old.
No, really? Accomplished? No, like you've accomplished that? I'm kidding.
Wise.
You've accomplished
Wisdom
a lot.
comes from years and years of somebody trying to beat that information into your head. Ask my wife. She'll tell you.
Do you have a highlight of, in all of these years? I would think that you may have 1 or 2 or more.
Nothing that just kind of blows the doors off. There's been things I've been involved with. I know that, I don't know if you know of or heard of Brian Lowe. Brian was a good friend, and there was actually one night where Brian and I stopped a carjacking. Just literally walked up on a car where we thought it was after hours, it was a bar area, thought maybe there was some, like hanky-panky going on in the car. We're going to break it up and send them on their way. The man actually had the woman in a headlock and was beating her with a fist as he was trying to get her keys out. And we started to try to smash the windows. Pooh, he gets the keys, takes off down an alley the wrong way. Luckily, it's the alley there off Main Street, 100 block west. There's a bank lot where I believe the court is now, 136 West Main. and there's a brick wall. There's parking, but there's a brick wall and you can't drive through there. Oh. And luckily that was the inlet he took. When he got in that, my car happened to be facing the same direction he was. Hopped out, I'm in a foot pursuit chasing after him. We go across the street, like behind Four Reasons where that used to be at. And at one point I literally slipped going around a corner and just went, like, it was almost like a cartoon thing. Your feet just come straight up. Oh. Landed on my back with such force that it popped me right back up onto my feet.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm sitting there about to, pass out with a weapon drawn, screaming at a man, get on the ground, as the lady who he was trying to carjack has run back to my patrol car. It is now on my radio, drowning me out, so I can't mark on the radio.
Oh, no.
And she's screaming to help me, that man tried to kill her. Help him, that man tried to kill me. Oh. Everybody's trying to figure out where I'm at. Brian Lowe is driving around, because his car is facing the opposite direction. He's driving around trying to find me. I'm screaming at this guy, get on the ground. And I tell everybody, it was like a guardian angel, the sound of this thunderous footsteps, as I'm pointing a weapon at this guy. And I hear Brian Lowe's footsteps as he's running now. He's running full bore. And this guy looks and he's like, he must have saw the look on Brian's face, because he's like, I don't know what to do now. Because at first he was just like growling at me like a madman. And I told everybody at Brian's funeral, and then Brian gently assisted him to the ground.
There you go. There you go. Oh my goodness. So you know what? We've just got a couple of minutes left. After you sharing that story, what is one of the most important things that, I say anybody, but I know sometimes it is single women or by themselves, or a woman with a child who is out late at night, and the elderly, men or women, what is the best thing that we could do to protect ourselves when we are out and about in our vehicle? I mean, I know there's probably a lot of things, but the best thing that you can
doors
suggest.
Locked, cell phones with you, keep something protective in your purse.
Okay.
Mace.
Yeah.
A small baton, something, whistle, something loud.
Oh yeah.
Something bright, and stay near light. Amazingly, people who want to do bad things don't really want light. They don't want to be around the street light. They don't want to be in a lit parking lot. They don't want to be, I tell people all the time, if you want people to stop breaking into your stuff, show some light.
Yeah.
Cut your shrubs down, do some stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure people can see you. Stay visible. Stay visible, and don't be afraid to be loud.
And I always say, I've had it happen to me, if you're in a grocery store and it is dark and you feel uncomfortable about something, don't be afraid to ask somebody to escort you to your car.
Absolutely, and it doesn't have to be, it just could be another person.
That's right.
They don't want witnesses either.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh my goodness, you are my first responder of the month. I've got treats. I'm just so into your story. I love hearing stories and things like that. I've got some yummy cookies for you, and a couple of other things. Ireland Spa and Salon, they work with me in giving certificates, so if you would like to use it for yourself or give it to your wife, that is completely up to you. Ava Jewelers.
If you're telling me you're giving me some kind of spa treatment and I don't give it to my wife, I feel like you're setting me up for something else.
That's funny. And then Ava Jewelers as well. There's something in here for certificate from Ava Jewelers. And then I want to say thank you so very much for what you do. And congratulations on your retirement. We didn't get to talk about your retirement. That is just awesome that you have done what you have done, and you're an amazing person, and you are a hero. So thank you. The bigger than life man himself is also a hero.
Right. Usually that just means my belly, but okay.
That's funny. Thank you so much, Captain Seesholtz from LPD. Folks, if you see him, congratulate him. I want to thank you so much for watching the Down Home with Tina show. But don't go anywhere, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about the snow. The lovely, beautiful, fluffy, icy, cold, freezing, awesome snow.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area, where the fountain is, and the memorials, and the flags, and all this stuff. And we looked around, and I said, there's our bank right there.
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Happy day, it's Down Home with Tina. So I've got snowmen for the set for this show and next week's show, just because there's so much snow going on. And with that being said, I want to talk with you about the snow. So it was a couple of weeks ago, I had to go somewhere and I decided I didn't want to take the 4-wheel drive truck, because it's just the car. I had to go a little bit of a distance for a couple of days in a row, back and forth commute. And so I was driving, I have a smaller car. And so I thought I would drive that. Well, I took off and I'm going up a hill. And this is the reason why I wanted to talk about driving in the snow. I'm going up an incline. And the person in front of me didn't really want to go that fast. And I'm telling them in my car, I was like, you gotta go, we're not gonna make it up this hill if you don't go, please. Because you really need to accelerate a little bit when you're starting to go up an incline. Now, I'm not talking about go super fast, because that's a couple of my tips. So one of the tips is gonna be, when you need to accelerate, don't do that quickly, and don't slam on the brakes by any means, because with those 2 things, you're going to slide. But when you are going up an incline, you do need to, if you're starting out with a flat surface, make sure that you do have a little bit of that gas, not fast once again, but accelerate so you're going to make it up over the hill. Once you get up on the top of the hill, folks, it is recommended that you slow down and don't push on the gas, kind of like coast if you have to, but slow down sooner, way back further than where if you've got a stop sign coming up. Just take it easy and slow down when you're going down a hill. When you're approaching a stoplight, if you can, make sure that you kind of go into a rolling and go slower, so that way, once again, you don't have to completely stop. When you have a lot of slush and stuff, you can get stuck in that slush. The snow was coming so fast, down so fast recently that they didn't have a chance to get the roads cleared off. So that's why you kind of want to just be careful. One of my number 1 snow tips, folks, is this. Please, please, if you are afraid to drive in the snow, don't go out in it, because your fear of driving in the snow is going to cause an accident. And I really think that that's another experience I had recently when I'm out on the road, and it looked like the person was afraid to go or do, because what they're going to do is going to cause an accident, and it's not a good thing. You don't want to see yourself in an accident. And also another thing is that if you can stay home, just stay home for that day. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. Don't worry about it. Save whatever you've got planned for another day. Number 1, of course, just don't get in a hurry. So with all this snow, I want to talk just for a second about my little puppy. So my dog's name is Sage, and she's just a little thing. And it was the first night I woke up and I thought, oh my goodness, we've got like 6 inches of snow out there. Well, that's taller than my dog. So lo and behold, first thing in the morning, what do you have to do? Yep, grab the shovel, which I had the shovel in the car from the snow the week before. So I had to go out and get my way to the car to get the shovel to get it back out in the house. So, and I have to do a maze. My one friend calls it like a rat maze. So now she's only kind of stuck in the yard in those little certain places because she can't just get in the snow. So it's so funny. But I say the challenges of, but I enjoy having my puppy dog. I wouldn't want it any other way. Folks, before I go, I do have a quote that I want to end the show with you. And the quote is, I saw this on the Super Bowl, and it was a commercial, and I thought that is a really good quote, and it'll make you think. So I want you to think about this. So, When you win, or you succeed at something, are you happy because you won? Or did you win because you were happy? Think about that. I truly believe that you've got to be a happy person in order to get to where you need to be at the end. That is, for some, you know, you want to be at the top. You just got to be happy. Make the best of it, and always, always, always believe in you. You've been watching the Down Home with Tina show. Have a great week. God bless and good day.